Hi, You Can Heal family. Happy 4th of July. I hope your day is going well. The girls and I have been very busy. We went to the parade this morning and went to some friends for a little cookout gathering and played some volleyball. I sure did. I was I was named MVP. Of course, it was a joke, but yeah, we had a good time. The adults played against the kids and we fared pretty good. So home now for a little bit. I'm gonna leave here in about an hour to pick up some of Blessing's friends and Dolly's little friend and go to the fireworks. So day's been busy, but I wanted to stop and read. I tried to read last night and have this for you this morning, but I was on the phone so long, keying all night long. By the time I tried to record something, the phone just wasn't going for it. So here we are today. So hopefully I can read this and get it to you by 6 p.m. on July 4th. With all that said, my name is Shena. We've been reading through the Old Testament, and today we're reading 1 Samuel chapter 9. It says, God chooses Saul. Kish was a rich, influential man from the tribe of Benjamin. He was the son of Abiel and grandson of Zeror from the family of Bechorath and the clan of Aphiah. His son Saul was the most handsome man in Israel, head and shoulders taller than anyone else in the land. We have a musky man in the Bible. The most handsome and head and shoulders taller. Oh gosh, than anyone else. So verse 3 says, one day, Kish's donkey strayed away, and he told Saul, take a servant with you and go look for them. So Saul took one of his servants and traveled all through the hill country of Ephraim and the land of Shalisha and Shalim area and the entire land of Benjamin, but they couldn't find the donkeys anywhere. Finally, they entered the region of Zuph, and Saul said to his servant, let's go home. By now my father will be more worried about us than about the donkeys. But the servant said, I've just thought of something. There is a man of God who lives here in this town. He is held in high honor by all the people because everything he says comes true. Let's go find him. Perhaps he can tell us which way to go. But we don't have anything to offer him, Saul replied. Even our food is gone and we don't have a thing to give him. Well, the servant said, I have one smaller silver piece. We can at least offer it to him and see what happens. In those days, if people wanted a message from God, they would say, let's go and ask the seer, for prophets used to be called seers. Although Saul agreed, let's try it. So they started into the town where the man of God was. As they were climbing a hill toward the town, they met some young women coming out to draw water. So Saul and his servant asked, is the seer here today? Yes, they replied, stay right on this road. He is at the town gates. He has just arrived to take part in a public sacrifice up on the hill. Hurry and catch him before he goes up to the hill to eat. The guest won't start until he arrives to bless the food. So they entered the town, and as they passed through the gates, Samuel was coming out toward them to climb the hill. Now the Lord had told Samuel the previous day, about this time tomorrow I will send you a man from the land of Benjamin. Anoint him to be the leader of my people Israel. He will rescue them from the Philistines, for I have looked down on my people in mercy and have heard their cry. When Samuel noticed Saul, the Lord said, that's the man I told you about. He will rule my people. Just then Saul approached Samuel at the gateway and asked, can you please tell me where the seer's house is? I am the seer, Samuel replied. Go on up the hill ahead of me to the place of sacrifice, and we'll eat there together. In the morning I will tell you what you want to know and send you on your way. And don't worry about those donkeys that were lost 3 days ago, for they have been found, and I am here to tell you that you and your family are the focus of all Israel's hopes. Saul replied, but I'm only from Benjamin, the smallest tribe in Israel, and my family is the least important of all the families of that tribe. Why are you talking like this to me? Then Samuel brought Saul and his servant into the great hall and placed them at the head of the table, honoring them above the 30 special guests. Samuel then instructed the cook to bring Saul the finest cut of meat, the piece that had been set aside for the guest of honor. So the cook brought it in and placed it before Saul. "Go ahead and eat it," Samuel said. "I was saving it for you even before I invited these others." So Saul ate with Samuel. After the feast, when they had returned to the town, Samuel took Saul up to the roof of the house and prepared a bed for him there. At daybreak the next morning, Samuel called up to Saul, "Get up, it's time you were on your way." So Saul got ready, and he and Samuel left the house together. When they reached the edge of town, Samuel told Saul to send his servant on ahead. After the servant was gone, Samuel said, "Stay here, for I have received a special message for you from God." And that ends chapter 9. But it was interesting to me, starting around verse 19, when Saul was kind of like, why me? Why, Samuel, are you noticing me? Like, why did God point me out to you? Because he was like, I'm from the smallest tribe of Benjamin, he said, and out of all the families, his was the least important. And it reminds me that, you might think that, you're just one person, you're just one small person in this world. How will you be recognized, or you don't stand out, or you're not ever noticed? But God sees you, and He's got plans. He's got plans that you can't even dream of. So you're not insignificant. You're special. Remember, he said he was the guest. Saul was made the guest of honor. He was put in the position of honor at the table. And then it says here, Samuel told him to have his servant go ahead because God had something special for him. So that's what I noticed in this chapter. Like, don't think that you're too small to be used by God. He's got plans for you. He really does. So that's it. That's chapter 9. And we'll look at chapter 10 tomorrow, where Samuel anoints Saul. That's what chapter 10's title says. So thanks for listening. Continue to have a wonderful 4th of July. Independence, we're celebrating our freedom in this country, but really, as a Christian, as a believer, God has set us free. Whom the Son sets free is free indeed. So walk with Christ, walk boldly with the Lord, and don't be ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, because it's the power unto salvation that saves. Amen? All right. Always remember, true healing begins with self-love. Why? Because God is love. He lives on the inside of you. We'll talk soon. Bye.